Hey Gloria, Terry here, Realty San Diego broker owner, and I'm also an associate broker at Hanson Loans. And I've been doing real estate and loans for a long time, as I mentioned. Anyway, I had shared some information with you, as you know, about the California Housing Finance Agency's first-time buyer program, and taking into consideration what you had mentioned as what you're currently paying as rent. I wanted to do a calculation that resulted in a number, a total monthly payment that would be basically as close to what we could get to, close to $1,700 as we could get. And so these are the numbers as I came up with them, as they worked out actually based on your credit score. And of course, we're in San Diego, first time buyer. I know you said your credit score was 660. I just used 650. Not going to be any difference at all. So for this example. And so I put in here closing costs of $9,000. And those closing costs would be things like title insurance. That insures the title to the home, and escrow. And if you'd like a better explanation of what each of these are, I'd be happy to provide that for you, of course. So the closing costs also include appraisal and inspections and processing and underwriting, and the list is quite long, but suffice it to say that $9,000 would probably cover that. It's usually 2.5% to 3% of the purchase price. And so you see up here, the purchase price I'm using is $295,000. Now, a lot of the loans we do don't have any closing costs for our clients. The thing is, the state of California dictates how we do this loan. It's their loan. There's no other way to go about it. So this is how it's done. Nevertheless, you're going to be able to get in the home with no money out of your pocket, and I'll just go about showing you how we get that done. This loan is called the Cal Plus Conventional with ZIP 3%. Okay? A conventional loan means it's not FHA or VA. Those two loans, one is insured by the FHA or Federal Housing Administration, and the other is insured by the VA or Veterans Administration. A conventional loan means that it's not government insured. And moving on with ZIP plus 3 or ZIP 3, ZIP means that's how much interest you're going to be paying on this loan, right? ZIP, none, 3%. So ZIP funds are for closing costs, and you pay no interest for as long as you have the loan. You can have the loan until you sell the home. It really doesn't matter. However, if you refinance, sometimes it can become due. So you have to be mindful of that, okay? Let's go on to interest rate. The interest rate is, again, dictated by state of California. So here, let me bring this over. Here is state of California, tells us what this program is and the rate, the rates that go along with it. So we're in a California conventional ZIP 3% zero interest program. Okay, it's not a high balance loan, so fortunately we don't have that fee, but it does have a rate of 5.625, which of course is about a point higher than what you would have, what we could get for you if we just did an FHA loan. We could probably get you something closer to 4%, but of course the FHA loan requires that you come in with 3.5% of the purchase price as a down payment, plus, if there were any closing costs that we couldn't cover with the lender's contribution. So before I get too far off track, let me finish what I'm doing here, okay? So I have this conventional with a ZIP, zero interest on 3% of the loan amount that you can use for your closing costs. So again, 3% of the loan amount, I have the loan amount at $295,000 or almost $300,000. 3% is obviously $9,000. And so that's why I went with the ZIP 3. Okay, so all the math works out. And then I have the California where it says the rate is 5.625, so that's what it is. And then you have the mortgage insurance. Well, any loan that you have with less than a 20% equity position, the lender's going to want to be insured, so there's mortgage insurance. Now that's either paid through the rate. Lenders will say, we don't have any mortgage insurance. True, you may not have to buy an insurance policy, but the lender buys one. And how do they pay for it? They pay for it with you having a higher rate. Because, why? Because they have to pay for the insurance. So nothing's free, okay, as you know. And anyway, so the monthly premium is, it's a monthly premium, so you pay it monthly. And we'll go down here. So here's scenario one, and there's only need for one scenario because this is the one that works best. And that is the program that we already talked about. The first loan amount is you're going to have a 3.5% LTV, basically. I think we could go to 5%, but again, I start to drift. So we'll just stick with 3.5% presumed down right here. And then we would have the down payment, the loan for the down payment, and then we have the loan for the closing costs. Okay, so you actually have, here's about gosh, almost $19,000 in loans from the state of California in which you'll never make a payment. So, you know, on one hand they say you never make a payment, but on the other hand, you know, what does the state of California do? They charge you a higher than market rate, slightly higher than market rate. So kind of you're making a payment, but anyway, nevertheless, this is the program that would allow you to get into the home with zero money out of your pocket. Isn't that amazing? So we could actually do this loan for you, and you could walk in and get the keys and never write us a check. Well, not that you would ever write Hanson Loans or me a check anyway, you never would, but in terms of writing a check to escrow, other than the good faith deposit, you typically, you know, $5,000 or something when you buy a condo, or on a $300,000, maybe $3,000, 1% of the purchase price. Other than that good faith deposit, there wouldn't need to be any money out of your pocket. Okay. And I want to say also, if you did a home inspection, of course, you would pay the home inspector up front, and then you would get that money back at closing. So that would be an exception. And then, of course, the appraisal, you pay for that up front, and then you get that money back at closing. So I want to just be really clear on those things. When I say no money out of your pocket, people say, no money out of my pocket, Terry. You didn't tell me how to write a check for an appraisal and an inspection. Well, yeah, you do, but then you would get the money back. So just to be clear, net out of pocket, you don't have to come in with any closing cost or any down payment. Now your monthly principal and interest payment here is going to be $1,641. Your property taxes are basically 1.25% of the purchase price. Your hazard insurance premium is going to be $73, and then that mortgage insurance that I mentioned earlier, I estimated $150 in here. I'm not sure what that be exactly, but that or $150 or less. And then you're in a condo, obviously you'll have an HOA fee. So I used what is a pretty common fee range, is about, you know, $350 to $400. So $375, and that would give you a total monthly payment of about $2,550 every month. So, you know, it's a jump up from the $1,700 that you're currently paying to get into a one bedroom. But those are the numbers. That's how it works out for you today. And I'm not sure what your income is. I don't really need to know. You know, if $2,500 is more than 45% of your gross monthly income, then you're not going to qualify for this loan program. Okay, you can't have more than a 45% debt to income ratio. So that $2,500 that you see at the bottom, plus any revolving debt payments, plus any car payments, you would add all those to the $2,500, if any, and then that number, that sum, could not exceed 45% of your gross monthly income. Okay? All right. Hopefully that wasn't too much and it made sense, and you find it helpful. It was under 10 minutes, and well, I enjoy being helpful, and if there's anything else I can do for you, let me know, okay? Yeah, my number is 619-339-8253, and you know, I'm always available. Have a good one.